Alright, I think this is live-ish, I want to say. Let me just go to a few places and make sure that everything is posted everywhere. Alrighty. How are we doing? Alright, we are set up. Might help if I was viewing my own self, wouldn't it? Alright. I have no idea where I left off this game. Don't have a goddamn clue. So, let's get into it. Apparently, I'm on night 3. that is a thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to move my camera ever so slightly. No, it's all stuck on cords. Fuck me. Let's see how ridiculous that looks. Does that look ridiculous? No, it does not. Cool. She steps out of the room to see if many of the guests move to do the same. Sophie seems to be conversing with someone, a serious-looking man in a trench coat, about what has transpired. Probably have the time to strike a conversation of your own too. Kadir al-Assami is still here for one, but clearly getting ready to leave. From what I remember of this game, because I've never actually played it all the way through, let's be honest. I'm somebody who got embraced recently, and nobody knows who my sire is, and everybody's trying to find out. Larson and Arturo seem to have stayed around too. One is still moping around, the other chatting with the remaining attendants, as if nothing happened in the meantime. Well, come on in, everybody. I see that there's a couple people in the chat. Ooh, do I want to talk to Kadir, talk to Robert Larson again, and my camera is directly in the wrong spot, or talk to Thomas Arturo? I have no idea what any of these options mean, so I'm just gonna talk to Kadir. Oh, wow. Even I'm getting hit with an ad. That's fantastic. Sure the sound's turned off. Sheriff's mood seems to have improved. So you decide you won't get a better shot at saying your piece. He's just sheathing his sword as you approach him. Swell. You notice you just before his face turns from a melancholic frown back to his regular predatory smirk. There's a phrase for you. You seem to have caught him in a moment of reflection. What is it, Amanda? Yes, let's ask the angry sheriff. Is everything all right? Hey, are you okay? Did I catch you at a bad time? The smirk is gone. His lips are tight now. His face, a mask of professionalism and restraint. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is not like any other. Yeah. I still have to admit I was as surprised as the prince when you jumped at the opportunity to stop that Animarch from escaping. I was sure Valerie would have beat you to it. If there's nothing else, I'll be taking my leave. I'm just going to go with all the bad decisions. And I'm going to go, why are you so mean? Why do you gotta be so mean? Oh boy. I'm just gonna post in a few more places so everybody can see me making fun of Kadir. Saying, why you gotta be so mean, guy? Because, well, Kadir isn't exactly the type of person who I would say is somebody who Ested is just welcome. Caught up on the videos. Excellent. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching all of our stuff. Do we plan on streaming another campaign of Vampire? Yes, we do. We do indeed. We are working behind the scenes. It's not quite ready yet. We're going to be getting together a new group to play some more Vampire. As for some of the other stuff that we have going on in the background, there's a D&D campaign, like our regular Sunday D&D game, which is run by Sarah. That's going to be coming back in March. We are currently mid-recording. It's a game that's going to be about 3 or 4 episodes. I'm not sure. Patrick would know more about that. Patrick is running from the adjacent table. Patrick is running us through some Wraith, which he had never run before. I don't think he'd ever played before. I think we're all like green when it comes to Wraith. Like no one has actually played Wraith yet at that table, because Wraith is one of those games where it's like it's really, really hard to find a group who wants to play Wraith. And there's a super secret that I'm not allowed to talk about vampire game that's going to be on the side of everything else that we're going to be running. So there's going to be like at least 2 vampire games that are going to be up and coming over the next little while. Hey, Game Raider Girl. I'm going to give Game Raider Girl a shout out. Go check out Game Raider Girl. Game Raider Girl runs some awesome D&D. Hire them for everything. If you don't, then I'm going to look at you sternly like Kadir and kind of wag my finger in your direction. So, for everybody who has jumped in just recently here, I'm playing Coteries of New York, which is a Vampire the Masquerade visual novel type game, it's super fun. Like, if you're familiar with Vampire at all, it's one of those things where it's like I'm caught up on all the lore and stuff, and that is a discussion for another time, because V5 kind of traditionally doesn't have that much lore connected to it. Like, they pretty much stopped producing massive amounts of lore when they hit like V5, like V20 or whatever it is, 20th anniversary Vampire. Este Edge. I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if I am not. Yeah, no problem. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up. We are just right now kind of stuck in the pre-production phases for everything, because we kind of drew a lot of stuff to a close at the end of 2022. So yeah, we're about to start kicking things in. Anyway, back to Coteries of New York. The World of Darkness team, and I love them all to death. They're great people. However, they seem to be, hey, Reese Northern Shaman, what is up, my friend? How are things? And also, I'm just going to do a bunch of asides. I am not going to get to even remotely finish this game. Northern Shaman. Let's do a shout out for Reese Northern Shaman too. JD. Okay, I will call you JD then. That is a lot easier. So yeah, go check out Reese Northern Shaman. They do some streaming. They've participated in some actual play stuff that I've seen. They're awesome people. And I am doing a fundraiser right now for the Trevor Project. So if you got a couple of bucks, or if you want to, subscribe to the channel here, you want to go over to our YouTube, go check out our YouTube. It might help if I didn't put a 1 in front of that. So go check out all of our YouTube stuff. Subscribing to our YouTube helps us. Subscribing here helps us. Subscribing everywhere helps us. Go donate to Trevor Project if you have a couple of bucks. Just, every little bit helps. If you can't subscribe, if you can't donate to Trevor Project, then help us spread the word. Grab the link, spread it around. May do streaming again in the near future. Good on you, man. That is awesome to hear. Go check out Reese Northern Shaman. Go follow Reese Northern Shaman. Follow Game Raider Girl. Follow everybody. I'm here on my pre-birthday thing. So, right, back to it. With this particular game, it's a visual novel, and the World of Darkness team, this is a minor rant in my direction, in their direction, they seem to want to have no lore when it suits them, but everything that they seem to be making on the side of everything else seems to want to make that canon, but they don't seem to want to have written lore. Looking at some actual plays to play. Yeah, you do a great job, man. You're really good at actual play stuff. Like, I enjoyed all the stuff that I've seen you in so far. So yeah, see if you can get back to it. So anyway, this particular visual novel is Coteries of New York. It's the first one of there was Coteries of New York and then Shadows of New York, where you play a La Sombra. This one, I can't remember what clan I picked. I don't even remember. I don't know. But basically, Kadir has been established as the big angry sheriff person. And I have just made what I consider to be a good role-playing decision, but it is probably a boneheaded decision of, I'm Ventru? Okay, cool. At least you remembered it, because I don't. So I've just asked Kadir, the big angry sheriff with a sword, why are you such a meanie? Let's see how this turns out. A smile, a chuckle, genuine? Good night, fledgling. Well, that went probably is about as good as I could hope for, honestly. And watch yourself. You've messed up my batting average, so I'll be sure to keep a close eye on you. Well, thanks, Kadir. Always good to have the sheriff keeping a close eye on you. It's really not. With that final threat, he leaves the gallery. I didn't see that as a threat. I'm going to dispute this. I am going to be like, hey, you know what? I'm a fledgling. I could fuck up a lot. It's good to have the sheriff, keep an eye on things. It's right about when Sophie also ends her conversation and walked over to you. Listen, draw a distance. Let's talk about your grammar. Yeah. Interesting evening, wasn't it? Come, Gregory's waiting downstairs. Is he now? And we're back in the car. Okay, cool. She seems preoccupied with something and not in a talkative mood. It's an awkward ride back to the city. This time you arrive at another building, just 2 streets across from your apartment. She brings you upstairs through a very nice lobby and a luxurious-looking hall into her domain. Whoa, there's a loaded word. That is an interesting character concept, Reese Northern Shaman. An esports manager Ventru. That is a character concept. That sounds fucking phenomenal. Like, wow, I had never considered kind of going the esports route with it, but yeah, that seems that there's role-playing potential there, right? Like, that is one of those things where it's like you can be a complete asshole Ventru and still be like up to date on new technology, right? that is definitely a yeah. I would role play the shit out of that, and I would role play the shit out of somebody who is interacting with your character. And domain, for everybody playing the home game, is a very loaded term in Vampire the Masquerade. It is another one is a Golconda born Bruja. What do you mean by Golconda born? Do you mean like their sire achieved Golconda and then they embraced this guy? This other person? That would be an interesting concept as well, because it's like, how much of a beast does your character have, right? If somebody had basically transcended the beast. Please have a seat. I shall be right with you. It's never good when the principal tells you to have a seat. They were born of a parent who was kindred who achieved Golconda. Okay, yeah, that is definitely an interesting. That is an interesting character concept. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds friggin' awesome. Yeah, I would. And then when you're interacting with your sire, like usually with Vampire the Masquerade, vampires don't. I've got a saying where vampires don't exist on blood; they exist on daddy issues. And I'm not wrong. And their curse activated when they accidentally killed someone. Ooh, that is another character concept. That is awesome. That sounds great. I would want to see that played. Please have a seat. I shall be right with you. You take in your surroundings. The apartment is like a gallery, an old school smoking room that you've seen in some period piece once. It and a nouveau riche's living room meticulously combined together. Sometimes you just gotta throw shit together to see what works, right? Let me just pop over here, click this. Pop over here, click this. Is this game supposed to have music? Did it pop out on me? Yeah, it seems a little weird. All right, so. Well, if we ever have any spots in your actual play, I can use them there. That is true. I am booked up for right now. I've discovered in running a channel that unless there's a massive amount of money coming in, 3 or 4 games is my absolute limit. And unfortunately, I do not have a massive amount of money coming in. So, apologies, old habits die hard. Clearly, some stick with you even after your death. She drags on her cigarette and breathes out. Breathes? How is she doing that? Can you do that? Oh, yes, you might not know. It takes some practice, but you can keep smoking if you'd like. Other things, too. Experiment, you might surprise yourself. But I did not bring you here to show off. This is where I rest these nights. The door in the back, the bedroom, similar to yours. I have servants and bodyguards in addition, of course. Of course. Brought you here because I need you to trust me. When I told you before that I needed your best behavior to uphold my good standing with the court, I meant it. But that's not the whole story. Well, what is the whole story? Why are you like this, Sophie? I have your interests in mind too. That's why I've given you your own haven. Why I'm trying to teach you how to navigate this new reality, but I need you to trust me or else this won't work. Yeah, sires generally say that kind of shit. Well, sires and other people. You can come here whenever you feel like asking me something when you're in trouble too, though I hope that won't happen often. I would ask you to come here when you wake up tomorrow. I'll have something to discuss with you. What do I say? I'll be here. Trust needs to be earned. It's right behind my camera, sorry. Why not discuss it right now? Fuck it, I'm going with the bad option. Yeah, since we're here. Guest spot? Yeah, there might be some spaces for a guest spot every once in a while. Yeah, I'd have to check the schedule and see what's going on with everybody. As I was saying, I'm not sure if you were here yet, but I was like discussing some of the stuff we have going up because DJ asked or JD asked if we were going to be doing more vampire in the future, and the answer to that is correct. Yes, we are. We've got a vampire game coming up. There's another shorter vampire game that is coming up that I'm not allowed to discuss, but I'm discussing anyway because that's how I roll. There's the Sunday D&D game, which is coming up, which is run by Sarah. That's our regular Sunday D&D game at 2 p.m. PST. That is coming back in March, and we've got another kind of shorter D&D game that's going to be played. So why not talk about it right now since we're here together? I still need to follow up on a few things before we speak. Patience, fledgling. That's silence again. Fucking awkward. There's definitely something on Sophie's mind tonight, but she doesn't seem eager to share it with you just yet. Probably because you're a fucking newly embraced fledgling. I'm leaving for another visit. Come downstairs with me. We'll give you a lift. Quick trip, a promise you'll show up tomorrow, and some polite goodbyes later. You open the door to your haven and gather your thoughts. You see, this is why I didn't choose I'm gonna be there, no problem. Let me pop right over there. Like, really, guys? Like, that's just a boring answer. That's just an answer where it's like, okay, sure, yep, let me sign right up for that. All right. It's exciting in a way being dragged deeper and deeper into the secret society and its rules. Whatever Sophie has planned for you, it's bound to teach you more about this thing you've become. A vampire. You sink into your vampiric sleep with just a sliver of hope. It's a welcome change. Time to rest. Whoop. Okay, what are these? It's my log, apparently. This is my dictionary. Kindred, blah, blah, blah. Apparently I'm good at figuring shit out. You have these past few nights in a windowless room. As you pry open the reinforced steel door, you look at the window to see, invariably, the sky bereft of sunlight, and then it hits you. The hunger. For a moment, you let yourself wonder if there will ever come a night where it's just not there. Given what you've learned thus far, you probably have much chance of kickstarting your heart with jumper cables. I mean, if you really want to. You lock the door behind you and head over to Sophie's apartment. You did promise to call on her. Might as well not keep the lady waiting. And hey, what else are you gonna do? What else am I gonna do? Get in touch with your boss. He's probably looking for you, if only to scold you on the unattended files piling up on your desk. But what is he gonna do? Call the cops? Ugh, not worth the hassle. You're almost hoping the few coworkers that seem to give a shit about you are faking it. It would make things easier, a fresh start from the ground up, just like old times. Apparently, I got involved in some sketchy shit. These thoughts put you in a weird mood. It's a strange sensation to walk the crowded streets, same as you have so many times before, but feeling so disconnected. All of these people, you're not one of them. Not anymore. You're a vampire. I actually just said that without actually looking over there first, so it's like, you're a vampire. Kindred, you need to carve your own path in this strange new existence, one way or another. Appropriately enough, you arrive at Sophie's buildings just as that thought crosses your mind. Why am I not feeding? Like, I think I already know how to do that, but it's just weird that I'm not, like, yeah, that's just weird. I'm sorry. That's... Right, sorry. Quick word to the security guard. You're let into the elevator. Apparently Miss Langley is expecting you. Of course she is. Of fucking course. You knock and wait patiently as the footsteps on the other side grow closer. Finally, the door is open. The door opens and Gregory, Sophie's driver, invites you in. Find the lady herself, standing by a window, silhouetted against the city's midnight glow. She stares out, motionless like a marble statue. Well, that's informative. Good evening. She doesn't react immediately, but seems to snap out of some meditative state and looks at you with strangely bleary eyes. Yes, good evening, Amanda. I was wondering, when you look at the city, when you see the lights, hear the hum, smell the rain on the pavement, what do you think about? You gaze out, lights and rain, relentless honking below, music blasting from a nearby window, echoing off buildings. Someone should record an hour of this and throw it up on YouTube as an ambient piece. I'm willing to bet, like, there's plenty of those. Other than that, though, it's business as usual. The sights, the sounds, the smells, you know them all too well. Sophie watches you. You can tell she's disappointed somehow, but she covers it up with a courteous smile. Why are you disappointed? Ooh. Now we're learning about clans. It's time for some book learning. Well, not everyone can appreciate the intricacies the world offers. In fact, among kindred, my clan is somewhat notorious for finding innate meaning in even the mundane. Is she a Toreador? Yes, she is. Ding, ding, ding. You see, the blood that flows within me is that of Clan Toreador. Excellent. Sorry, I'm just posting some shit. The life of a channel runner is very exciting. The blood within me is that of Clan Toreador. Alright, Clan Toreador you are then. There are 13 such bloodlines among us kindred, though that number has been contested in the past, and these nights it seems that nothing is certain anymore. Yeah, there's something about a spirit nuke and, technocracy, and the clan has have gone by many epithets over the years, but the names used these nights have their roots in medieval times, the original Inquisition, if you can believe it. They used these to categorize us, describe our inherent differences. In time, we adopted them ourselves. Each clan has a uniqueness about it, inescapable, originating from that ancient progenitor carried from sire to child. Fuck's sakes. Clan Toreador. Greatest actors, singers, writers, dancers, and even sex workers. The degenerates believe such mortals will offer something new to their clan, despite the custom of embracing only the best. The Toreador fixation on beauty and innocence has caused many a diva to make a fledgling in haste. Many a moonlit night, new clan members have emerged as shallow hedonists, one-hit wonders, or just a stunning body with nothing else to offer. Nicknames: divas, harlots, sensates, perverts, hedonists, degenerates. That is a list. But I do notice that B5 has definitely kind of strayed away from the artiste and poseur thing, which I absolutely love. Vampire's heritage, see also clan, child, the vampire created, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Sire to child. For the Toreador, the gift lies in a sensitivity of sorts. We are uniquely attuned to beauty and ugliness both. We can see either where most cannot. A blessing on most nights, occasionally a curse. A curse. Do I plan on playing Swan Song? Eventually. I think I have it. Let me double check. Let me check the old, because I got that Humble Bundle a while back. And Steam. There it is. Coteries Redemption. I think I have it. Or maybe I don't. I have Sins of the Sires. Let's see. I was born this day, not 2023. Whoa. Oh, it hasn't released yet. Okay. Yeah, eventually I'll play Swan Song, I suppose. It comes out apparently the 18th of May, but who knows at this point. Let's see. For the Toreador gift lies, we are uniquely attuned to beauty and ugliness both. We can see either where most cannot. A blessing on most nights, occasionally a curse. The sheriff is of my clan as well, though you'd be hard-pressed to see him as such. Poor Kadir, it breaks my heart to see him in this state. What state? Still, there is beauty to it as well, nothing like a good fall from grace. What are you talking about, lady? There's like stuff percolating in the background that I have no idea about. Try as she might to act playful, you can tell she genuinely cares. She lets her gaze wander for a brief moment, but is quick to regain her composure. What is going on? Then there are the Ventru, known for their pride and their proclivity to rule over others. The prince represents that clan, as is quite common in our society around the globe. The Ventru. Where the Blue Hoods think themselves rulers, the Bruja like to see themselves preeminent revolutionaries. They call for universal rebellion while being slaves to their own temper. We don't discuss the rabble much anymore, not after they've largely broken off with the Camarilla to think they were philosophers once long ago. I hope to tell you more about some of the other bloodlines tonight. Go on. What's my clan? No, I can only guess it based on certain aspects of your behavior and taste. You will need to come to your own conclusion and seek validation from your clanmates if you require such a thing. As you will no doubt learn, some kindred fit these stereotypes more than others. The blood is hard to deny, but there are certainly those who try. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, writers of this particular game, for having the clan stereotypes be a thing. But this is perhaps a subject for another time. I invited you here for a reason. There is something I wanted to speak to you about. Go on. It's customary in our society, especially among younger kindred, to organize into coteries. Sometimes these are called by the prince themselves, mandated by a fledgling sire. In our case, you may treat it as more of a strong recommendation. I want you to seek out companions, not only because you need to learn more about our society, but also because it is useful. It is very useful. True friendships are rare among kindred, but having allies, even temporary ones, is something of a necessity these nights. We might be selfish creatures, but we are drawn to each other nonetheless. What is that last one? What if I want to go about it alone? That's just silly, dog. Any suggestions on where I should start looking? I was just about to get to that. She puts on a mysterious smile. Swell. Spent some of my precious time last night asking around, pondering potential kindred for you to meet. Came up with a short list of contacts. I hope you'll appreciate the gesture. Forging a partnership with them might offer perspectives and viewpoint I cannot provide. Lenses through which to view our kind. They're all members of the Camarilla, of course, more or less. Alright, let's hear it. Who's on the list? Let us start with the Tremere. They are a powerful clan, disliked by many, but feared and respected by many more. They have been an important pillar of the Camarilla since the very beginning. They are blood sorcerers. Blood sorcerers, you flash back to one of those nights when your ex would stay up late playing video games. Not a pleasant connotation. Wow, that's hard. Judgmental. Sorry, just checking on something here. Sophie snickers. Oh child, don't be caught with that look in your face when you meet a warlock in person. They're really adept at using vitae, their own as well as others' unique and potent effects. Since they are quite rigid in their hierarchy, the kindred I have in mind, you might need some persuading. His name is Agathon. From what I hear, he's quite the scholar, very ambitious, the child of a noted Tremere here in New York, Aisling Sturbridge. What the hell just happened? Spend enough time with Agathon, I'm sure you'll run into her sooner or later. Scholar sounds boring. So he's a bookworm, doesn't sound too exciting. Well, to be fair, I do find the Tremere a bit tedious, but mostly because of how precise and rigorous they tend to be. For what it's worth, Agathon is said to be agreeable for a warlock. Yeah. Anyway, if you wish to contact the Tremere, you can usually find him in a New Age bookstore out on Broadway. The Tremere, one of their workshops there. Gregory will give you the details. So it's a Nosferatu, then, is basically what you're saying. Hey, Dark Druid Productions, welcome on in. We're playing a little Coteries of New York. Just playing casual like, trying to raise money for charity. How are things with you guys? And now, this next recommendation comes with a bit of a caveat. As you recall me saying, most bloodlines have unique features that might not be obvious at first glance. Just popping around Twitch first while I settle in for a late night of work. Arg, it pays the bills. Yep, that's fair. You can see that. Well, this is one clan whose members wear their curse on their sleeve. We're about to learn about the Nosferatu. The Nosferatu. The way she said it, you're pretty sure it should mean something on you other than sounding foreign. It doesn't ring any bells. No wonder they make their havens in sewers, abandoned buildings, and such. Their appearance is hideous and obviously unnatural. Had they walked the streets like other kindred, the kind would have learned of our existence long ago. Did she just shudder? It's hard to tell with her unusual complexion, but you could swear her skin suddenly took on an even more sickly color. The one that I have in mind isn't as big an eyesore as the worst of them, but he's no Adonis either. Still, he has some talents and connections you might find useful. Okay, so there's a bit of a difference between eyesore and Adonis. And the Nosferatu are more over on this side of things. His name is D'Angelo, and he has an office, for lack of a better term, in the otherwise abandoned grain terminal of Red Hook, right next to one of those Swedish stores. The name escapes me, the one with the awful furniture. Ouch. Hey, Chef Guards, how's it going? And I will drop a shout out in here. Check out Fablemancers, Dark Druid Productions. Are you guys still running stuff? I'll send it. You know what? Fuck it. Dark Druid Productions. Hey, 12-sided guy. How are things? Chef Carrick, it's going. Yeah, I know that feeling. It's not going fast or well, but it is running. So, we are doing a bit of a pre-birthday stream-a-thon. Playing some Biomutant. I have not played that game, but then again, I don't really have that much time for any games, what with homework and the stuff and everything else. Yeah, I hope it's a fun game. I am playing this game. We're trying to raise a bit of moolah for charities. If anybody is able to donate a couple of bucks, throw some in there. We're also doing, trying to get some subs up. If you have any Amazonian subs, Amazon linked subs, if you are feeling inclined to send them my way, feel free. And we were talking earlier about some of the plans that I've got, including the one with Chef Cars. I'm not going to mention too much about it. I'm just going to say that Sam may in fact be running something on our channel fairly soon. We're working in the background on that, and it is percolating. So, the one with the awful furniture. Wow, that is rude. Yeah, so essentially as well, I've been picking every not great option with my wording in these particular ones. I just feel like causing violence today, really. What, IKEA? You mean IKEA? Yes, that's it. My mind struggles to retain things that are aesthetically displeasing. Ouch. D'Angelo does odd jobs for Kadir, digging up dirt, looking kindred group of bird and rain, hidden, the kind of work the Nosferatu are best at. He's on a case right now, something to do with Kine murders, I think. After your initial brush with our dear sheriff, I think it would be wise for you to show some goodwill towards his agenda. Assisting D'Angelo with his investigation might just be the thing. It might in fact be the thing. She takes a brief pause to look out the window again. Now come the two more exotic proposals. Go on. As if the blood mage and the vampire detective were business as usual. You may have heard about the Gangrel before. They're a wild clan in touch with their beast in ways others might not dare to attempt. They mostly keep out of the big cities. There are exceptions. Nominally, they haven't been part of the Camarilla for 2 decades, but one kindred I would like you to meet is a strong, shall we say, familial ties to the sect. Her name is Tamika. Her sire Jezebel was instrumental during the Battle of New York back in 1999, the very same battle that cemented the city as the Camarilla domain. So, here's a bit of a fun fact that I will run everybody through. The Battle of New York in Vampire the Masquerade, Vampire had the New York City area as being a Sabbat run town. But there was a... can't remember. I think it was just like a section of the city, like a couple of blocks were basically like right in the center of New York City were Camarilla. And they basically just kept themselves in there because the Sabbat were running rampant around the rest of the city. And then the Camarillas started to play dirty, like real friggin' dirty. They came up with, if I remember the lore correctly, they came up with like a radioactive isotope that they somehow discovered that was harmless to humans, but it could be picked up if a vampire fed on them, right? So it basically would have a smaller concentration in humans, but if, say, a vampire, a Sabbat vampire, a Camarilla vampire, or whatever, would feed off of people, it would kind of create a concentration of that radioactive isotope. And they used that to track down where these Sabbat havens were and basically just firebomb them. So it's just like, you know, I'll give you points for being creative, World of Darkness team, but that is not something that I would have definitely gone with. I just would have had a big battle in the middle of New York, but you know what? You do you. If radioactive isotopes work, then they work. Sadly, her achievements have gone largely unrecognized. That is sad. Tamika and a number of her siblings still reside in the domain. They were rewarded after the battle. Prospect Park, Jezebel herself left the city some time ago, fed up with being underappreciated. You mentioned siblings. Should I contact non-Camarilla clans? Yeah, just the worst possible ideas that I've got in here. How does that work? It's not as clear-cut. The Gangrel have, as a whole, have sworn off the Camarilla, but individual kindred in that clan still hold to our ideals. Jezebel was one of them before she became jaded. I gotta say, I kind of don't like the way V5 is doing it. Like, I kind of preferred that there were, you know, these clans over here that would do this, these clans over here that would do that in the old systems. Like, having the La Sombra try to wipe out the rest of their entire clan, but now they've jumped ship back to the Camarilla, and there doesn't seem to be that much of a explanation for it, other than, you know, we got bored. We decided to come back to the Camarilla. Like, besides, their domain in Prospect Park has been upheld by Prince Panhard for all these years, is it not? We consider them members of the sect, and they have, for the most part, kept to themselves. I'm going to be right back in just a sec. I'm going to hit mute on this, but yeah, I'm feeling a little parched. Hold on. Hey, Party Wipe Games, how's it going? And I will give you a shout out. I apologize in advance for all the clicking noises. I think I spelled that right, did I not? Nope, I did not. There we go. Everybody go follow Party Wipe Games. They're awesome peeps. We were just talking about Party Wipe Games. You might even know this. About how the Camarilla won the Battle of New York with radioactive isotopes. Vampire lore. Will you ever not let me down for how wacky bullshit you become? Besides their domain parts, blah blah blah, they've kept to themselves. Perhaps it will take a young kindred such as yourself to make them realize where their loyalties lie. Yeah, let's go talk to a bunch of quasi-anarch gangrel and tell them, hey guys, come on back over to the Camarilla. That always works out for the best. So you see, seeking out Tamika could prove quite educational, if nothing else, and who knows, perhaps you will find her temperament to be a welcome change of pace. But speaking of change of pace, I have one last suggestion for you, though it's one I don't make lightly, the kindred who calls herself Hope. Okay. She's a Malkavian, great. They're a uniquely cursed clan. For centuries, we considered them mad, insane, unhinged, but those of us who spend enough time with them can understand the truth. It is no sickness, but a unique perception of the world that is them appear to us as unstable, and that perception can prove to be very valuable. Having a Malkavian as your companion might be taxing on the nerves and a true test of patience at times, but their insight and intuition are unrivaled among kindred. As for Hope specifically, she's said to be a recluse, but I have it on good authority that she can currently be found in an internet cafe, I believe it's called, in Lower Manhattan. Gregory has the address. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going with the asshole choices, let's be honest. An internet cafe? Really? How quaint. I really wouldn't know. Of course you wouldn't. But since you brought it up, be aware the Camarilla is highly critical of using internet to communicate. The Second Inquisition made sure of that, exercised caution when at her haven. I believe that's all of them. I still have a few social calls to make tonight, so I'll leave you to it. Use tonight tomorrow to arrange some cordial visits of your own. Dun dun dun. Oh, thank you for the donation, Chef Guards. I totally didn't notice that until just now. Thanks for the donation. We are trying to donate to Trevor Project. If anybody has a few bucks kicking around, feel free to kick it in that direction. In my birthday fundraiser for the Trevor Project, or if you looking to help out the channel, sub to us. If you got any of those Amazon subs, free subs that are available, kick them in my direction. Why not? Alrighty. So, I will send Gregory for you as soon as I have further need of your services. Well, that's nice. That reminds me, you'll need a car. Looks like I'm getting some wheels. Tunes your driver, he helps put on your coat. 3 of you leave Sophie's apartment. Sophie points one of the cars in a nearby building as Gregory hands you the keys. It's a rather inconspicuous compact car, a decent looking, if not luxurious, ride. Stay safe, Amanda. This is your first night alone. Don't let it be your last. Nice sound design, guys. As you drive away, you find yourself with more freedom than you've had the past few nights. A blessing or a burden, time will tell. With a list of addresses in hand, you consider your next move. What is my next move? 4 suggestions. Could go with the magic user, the Malkavian, the Nosferatu, or the Gangrel. See, this is one of those kind of problems, and I think everybody's probably getting hit with an ad right about now. So I will pause for station identification. I think everybody is probably back at this particular point because I just saw a thing pop up on an ad pop up for whatever. Pardon me. So where to go? Like, this is one of those things where I really wish that they had done a little bit more of I kind of wish they had done a bit more design, right? Like, just nothing, they wouldn't need anything massive in this particular design. It just kind of I don't know, how can I put this so it doesn't sound weird? Like, I kind of think that if they had put something like over, like, show me where I am on the map type thing, and that would help me as a person, as a player in Vampire the Masquerade or any game, kind of like side quest type thing, where it's just like, I would generally try to go to the one that was the closest to where I am, and just kind of try to, like, go along the line and bang them all out. But I feel like being weird, so we're gonna go Malkavian. It's a quiet, moody internet cafe. Half its space serves as a comfy coffee bar these days, but behind a glass wall, it still has a space dedicated to rows of PCs. From the street, you can notice tired adults in casual clothes typing away absentmindedly on some bored kids wasting late evening of hours in colorful online games. If Sophie's intel is to be believed, this is where Hope has set up her haven. Dun dun dun. One of the waiters is standing outside of the building, gazing at the sky with a smartphone in one hand and a vape pen in the other. Oh, it's a great place, I can already tell. You approach the man and tell him, I'm looking for hope. He releases a soft chuckle. Yeah, you and me both. Manley slowly takes a drag from his e-cig, sizing you up and down in silence. After a long, awkward moment, when you're ready to leave be, he raises his voice again. Come, right this way. He heads back into the cafe, and you follow his lead. Well, that's a thing. When you make your way through the space with computers, no one averts their gaze from the spreadsheets, emails, Facebook profiles, or games of Fortnite. It's a common sight you wouldn't have paid much attention a few weeks ago, but now it seems so unnervingly quaint. Would they still be spending their time like this if they were immortal? The waiter unlocks an unassuming door at the end of the room and lets you inside. You swiftly make your way through a labyrinth of sterile gray corridors, taking confusing twists and turns. Feels like you're traveling into a different world, crossing one invisible portal after another. Eventually, you reach your destination. Your guide motions you into a dark room in the line of source pale light, a computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. As you do, you hear the door shutting behind your back and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit in a chair in front of the computer. Monitor displays a modern chat application. Cursor is blinking in the username entry field, but the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. After reconsideration, you type in beats your newfound sensibilities going haywire, but this place is a barely noticeable sleazy aura. Might as well go along with it. You input pornos collector and push the enter button. After a few seconds, the chat window opens and messages start appearing on the screen in quick succession. Hostage execute. What the Malkavian? Stop it! Let me just scroll up a bit here. Check is silent. Everyone seeming waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group. Better to say something before they kick you out. Why does this one have an onk? Presence to try to get the chat under control. Yeah, but how? How am I going to use presence over... This makes no sense. But I'm going to do it anyway. Blood fires up, ancient power starts coursing through your veins, fingers tapping the keyboard buttons on their own. Yep, that worked about as well as I predicted. I guess your powers don't work online. Yeah, figure. You know, your cheeks would turn blood red right now if they still could. It's like, yeah, that worked about as well as I had hoped. Wow. Okay. That happened. A split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arms tightening around your neck. The violent return to reality catches you off guard. A jolt of passion rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily. Come to the wrong chat room, motherfucker. A ridiculous whisper rings out next to your ear. The grip under your head gets even tighter. You start struggling even with your new-powered supernatural strength. You're having trouble breaking out. This isn't a normal human you're dealing with. No shit. Last words. Your chat room sucks. Hey, that's just rude, but I still laughed. The hand holding your chin shifts its position slightly. Don't struggle or I'll break your windpipe or my phone, which would end up even worse for you. You're worried about breaking your phone? Sound of a camera shutter and light flashing. Did they just take some selfies with you? Fucking Malkavians, am I right? Alright, that's enough fun. I'm letting you go. We can have a talk. Don't do anything stupid, Miss Intruder. Pretty please. Mysterious assailant looses their grip on you and gently pushes you away. You quickly turn and take a good look at them. Let me just finish this. It's a pale blonde woman in her 20s giving you slightly judgmental looks while rapidly tapping away on her phone screen. First, you notice the outrageous outfit seemingly thrown together from random thrift store finds. I mean, that's fair. You take note of her tattoos, sprawling tapestry of odd patterns of design covering every visible part of her body. At first glance, it all seems aimless, but it has a consistent sense of style upon closer inspection. Her eyes focus on you for a second. Gave you a scare, huh? Sorry. That's what you get for entering Lady's Haven without her permission. She's back to her phone. With her relatively small build, it's hard to perceive the trouble overpowering you physically. She probably knows potence. But then again, nothing is what it seems when it comes to the undead. Even compared to the vampires you've met so far, she comes off as an eccentric, curious presence. She shoots you another glance, noticing you're still cautious of her. Calm yourself, girl. I won't pull anything like this anymore. It was just a feel stupid saying it out loud, a vibe check. Yeah, this is the most ash-hole-ish one. Vibe check. Yeah, I got a glimpse of your vibe on the internet and in a dangerous situation. I'd say I've got a pretty good idea about who you really are. I'm Hope, by the way. If you're here, you probably heard about me. So I went ahead and skipped the pleasantries, but come to think of it, I might have skipped too many of those. Yep, she definitely fits the description you were given by Sophie. I still can't believe you got so mad online. You actually tried to use your powers on people talking trash about you from who knows where? Jesus. But you know, I kind of respect that dedication. It's amusing. Your chat room sucks ass was funny, so there's that, unless you really meant it, in which case, hey, fuck you. Oh, Malkavians. Well, yeah, credit where it's due. You're probably not a boring person online, going by your chosen handle. Believe it or not, among bloodsuckers, that's still rare as hell. Most of them are like clueless baby boomers when it comes to internet stuff. Anyway, don't worry about the chat. It was all a game to us. No hard feelings, okay? I'll introduce you properly later. On the monitor, the chatter continues normally. Your visit is like yesterday's news, no longer relevant to anything. But, look, if you're going to talk about you, you should have something to say too. What are you doing here? About time, she asked, note to self. She really loves the sound of her own voice. I'm building a coterie. Looking for people to join my coterie. Coterie? Been there, done that, not interested, unless she takes a close look at you, his eyes go wide. Wait. Sheet, are you the new Langley plaything? Word seems to be getting around fast. Of course you are. It was obvious the second Langley got her hands on a new servant, she'd start building a network. Your emotions tell me that you could really come in handy one, but Langley, that's a risky game. This kind of ambition attracts too much attention. Piss off, but then again, fucking Kara. She seems to be having a spirited argument with herself, only parts of it audible. Is it just you, or do her facial expressions, body language change a bit between one sentence and the other? Before you make certain it's not just your eyes playing tricks on you, she focuses half her attention back on you. The other half, of course, is still obsessed with her smartphone. Malkavians. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not interested in cooperation, but before I make a decision, I need to make sure you sort of understand me, that I sort of understand you. Since I was planning to put on a show before you came here, I propose a little game. Hope absentmindedly spins her phone in her hand, considering how to put her thoughts in a word, then she approaches the switch on the wall and flicks it. The lights flare up, illuminating a room, and you take a good look around. The room is certainly unique, but it looks like a butcher's room repurposed to be a living space. A modern computer in front of you starkly contrasts the ominous industrial walls. At the back of the overwrought bed, covered in velvet, with meat hooks hanging above it. Well, that's charming and quaint. On top of the bed sheets, you notice there seem to be pieces of elaborate S&M equipment and a camera. Wait a minute. You want my help? Moderate my cam show. Cam show? Your eyebrows twitch involuntarily. This is definitely not the kind of request you expect here tonight. She notices your confusion. Take it or leave it, buddy. You just became a kindred, but you want to become my partner in crime? Show me you can handle yourself while watching my back in an everyday environment. Mr. Bill 3B sounds like some missy mischief to me. You are not incorrect. Well, okay, looks like we're monitoring a cam show. She's serious. The show starts in 10 minutes. If you think yourself better than us, walk out the door right now. Won't hold a grudge, I've got better things to do. As if to prove it, she looks at something displayed on her phone and cracks a brief grin. Another reply typed down with absurd speed. Tap, 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 tap. 9 minutes, it's now another show moderator. Risk of violating the Masquerade? Hi. Content warnings? Oh yes. So, do you take the job? Yeah, fuck it. Why the hell not? Hope brightens up and her smile looks surprisingly sincere. Excellent. I promise you might find this interesting in more ways than one. Alright, give me a second. She spends a minute setting up the computer you used before, then urges you to sit down. The explanation of the moderator's functionalities is simple. It boils down to ignoring anyone who doesn't disrupt the chat, banning anyone who does, and kicking anyone who's causing minor trouble. That seems fair enough. Five minutes later, she's already online, sitting on her bed in a provocative pose. It is a sex show, isn't it? Her voice, previously hushed, rings out in full force. How are you doing tonight, hopefuls? You peek at the chat. I think that's an ignore, given the circumstances. You're tempted to try the kick and ban prompts as soon as possible, but obviously you won't punish someone for a little dirty talk. Thank you. Today's show is quite special. Please welcome our new moderator, Pornos Collector. What an apt name that I chose. Sorry for sentencing you to death earlier. At least the community here seems a bit more welcoming this time. Looks like the place has been an established hazing ritual, or maybe they and Hope came up with this one specifically for you. Who knows? You decide to stay silent. Eventually, people stop riffing on you and focus entirely on the star of the show. Alright, let's start this one with a bang, shall we? So this is where the strip show starts. You raise your head, curious about what kind of performance she's going for. First, she opens her mouth to reveal her retractable fangs in front of the camera. Okay. Right off the bat, the online audience is treated to a sight of her wholly human set of teeth turning into a monster's maw. The image is both revolting and fascinating. She raises her left wrist for everyone to see and then bites. Fangs immediately turn her arm to a horrifying glory mess. It's unclear if she used them to slash or bite. One thing is for sure, no ordinary human can cause such damage. If an ordinary human suffered such a wound, you expect a geyser of blood to appear too, but it doesn't. Hope's technically a corpse, so it's impossible. Hey, Shelly Von Miller, thanks for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody. We are doing a bit of a fundraiser. Thank you for the happy birthday greetings, and let's do a shout out for Shelly Von Miller. Animal Crossing, how's that? What an interesting jump from one to the other, though. Yeah, you've come over to watch us play some Coteries of New York. So yeah, that from Animal Crossing to Coteries of New York is there's quite the gap between the two. But welcome on in. We are doing a bit of a birthday fundraiser for the Trevor Project, and my cat is over here and is just about to start getting loud. Hopefully she does not. I just restarted my island last week, so it's a little weird, but I love VTM, so why not? VTM is amazing, and as I was telling chat earlier, we're going to be starting in on a couple games for VTM, for tabletop TTRPG stuff. We've got one kind of long form in the works, and there's another one that's shorter in the works. We've got two D&D games, so there's going to be a little something for everybody on the channel pretty soon, but we're just doing pre-production stuff for it right now. Yeah, so, and from Animal Crossing to this, you've come in pretty much just at the right time where it's like, okay, there's like my character is basically monitoring a vampiric sex show, so let's get back to that and see how it goes. She flashes a monstrous smile and starts smearing Vitail over her hand, masked by the impact of the violent image. She then starts drinking it up. Shelly Von Miller, LOL, perfect. Yeah, exactly. Like, she just bit into her own arm, and it's like you go from Animal Crossing to vampire online sex show. So she makes a point to make the sight as gruesome as possible, looking like a hyena feasting on a corpse. The contrast of her behavior with her look of an Instagram model is stunning. Once she's done, she reveals her wrist to the camera for the last time, starts making theatrical gestures with her right hand as the wound begins to mend. Shortly after the wound is gone, and it's like a magician's trick, her left hand looks like nothing bad ever happened to it. Here's an appetizer, first blood to kick off the show. Oh, this is just the first act. Okay, we're in the preamble. While you're wondering what the hell's going on, Hope catches a glimpse of your bewildered face and turns into your direction. How's that for an opening? Yeah, I'm just gonna ask, like, I've decided to go with the jerk statements and responses, so... Hey, fun-sized spaz, how are you? Welcome on in. Long time no see, but we've got some interesting stuff cooking. Because I know that you're a fan of the TTRPG stuff for the vampire. This is not a sex show? Really? Sex? What were you counting on me getting naked in front of you or something? Oh, honey, we just met each other. Let's just say I love Hope. This is a great character. If you expected a strip show, yeah, sorry to disappoint. This is more like a live stream digital art. The erotic subtext is there, of course. Of course. Trying to lurk when I can, and Hope is a gem. Hope is a gem. Hope, if the rest of the kindred of New York can burn in a fire, but if anything happens to Hope, I'm going to be very unhappy. You peek at the chat, they're going wild. For free. Man, people online are weird. But eroticism is not the key here, it's vampirism. It's a new frontier, a living art installation. In the early 90s, the Japanese artists would keep producing these videotape of beautiful women committing gory harikiri. Those are an inspiration. Mr. Bill? Yeah, exactly. If Hope dies, we riot. I will send a rather strongly worded email to the people who wrote this game. Dear sirs and madams, or people who are outside of those two, or people who are inside of those two, I am very unhappy that you decided to kill Hope in your video game. Sincerely, Storyteller Steve, Vancouver by night, streamer. P.S. Please continue making games. She bars her fangs again in a devious grin. But I have no interest in auto-destruction or turning myself into a victim. This is a celebration of a body I love, not self-inflicted punishment. The audience came here to marvel at a beautiful vampire and her awe-inspiring powers. Mending wounds is just one of these powers. People watching can pay to see more. Oh, and don't worry, the only things the audience can see and hear are the things I allow them to. We can talk freely. Just remember to moderate the chat, will you? High risk of violating the Masquerade? What a joke. She's blatantly preaching it in front of anonymous viewers. Still speechless, you turn your attention to the screen. This is gonna be... I would say ignore. Special message appears in the chat log claiming somebody has successfully sponsored the first goal of the show. Hope smiles and picks up a bag of blood from underneath the bed. It must have been retrieved from a blood bank. She shows his label to the camera for everyone to see. Hope pours the contents of the bag into her throat. You have no doubt it's real blood, but wonder why the viewers would be so satisfied with something that's so easy to fake. Don't worry, it pays well enough. You don't even bother to tell her this is what you're thinking about. Safe to assume she knows. So what do you know about the Kindred and the internet? Have they told you anything? While she's waiting for someone to sponsor her next vampiric feat, she decides to start a conversation. Is this the right time? Like, it is not. I think you need to utilize every moment to the fullest, and I don't want you to feel as dead as you are. I'm busy waiting, so I might as well teach you about the world you're about to enter. See, some of us used to experiment with our own secure networks. We tried to build our own information hubs, social networks, and everything. She's still working on the phone in one hand while looking for something under the bed with the other. How many things can she concentrate on one time exactly? Well, Malkavian. One day the NSA got in. Turns out our elders never really got the hang of proper security practices, or the sigils they used to smear on their screens didn't exactly work as advertised. Then, of course, the other three-lettered intelligence agencies in the world got the intel, and a lot of them decided bloodsuckers were the perfect new enemies for our post-9/11 times. Second Inquisition came into being. Ever heard of it? Second or third Inquisition, depending on which way you look at it. A lot of our kind died just because they were too present online. Right now, the remains of our old networks serve as government honeypots to keep alive and track fledglings and hunt them down. You post a certain keyword on Twitter or Facebook, you get tagged for investigation. You fit certain patterns, you get tagged for investigation. So there's a certain thrill of becoming an online presence without attracting attention from the authorities. She stretches on the bed. I hope you're still monitoring the chat? Of course not. You're not as good as dividing attention as she is. You correct your mistake and check the recent messages. Let's ban. She's keeping close tabs on you. Anyway, yeah, when the Nosferatu admitted the camera of the network got compromised, the elders went batshit insane. Internet communications became strictly for Hitchman. There were executions. Whoopsie. A lot of people use social media to secretly contact their mortal families. Their lovers got off. That goes without saying. But if you weren't careful with the most innocent web usage, could result in being punished with final death. She raises her hand. 3 fingers up. 2 fingers up. 1 finger up. Countdown ends. She immediately disappears from the terrain like a ghost. You can still see her on the bed, and the live feed indicates there's nobody there. Deeply focused on the digital image, you swear you can't make up some usual glitching where a silhouette should be, but it could very well just be a placebo. You ready for this? 3, 2, 1. Flash the camera instant. She reappears on the screen. She takes a selfie, sticking her tongue out in a provocative manner. Chat room explodes. Cheers again. She's their vampire queen. You briefly wonder about her being glued to the screen. Is this fantasy everyone is here for? A girl showing off cheap magic tricks while lazily browsing her social media? You realize you're way out of your depth here. Meanwhile, Hope decides to continue her lecture. Those are some wild times, especially in New York. While most of them have no clue about her as to her real nature, a lot of the clandestine organizations have classified us as natural threats. And since this is where the towers fell, the agencies are very much present around here looking for easy PR victories. Ooh, man, can she talk? The last SI raid here was just a few years ago, and it was a big one, stirred up a hornet's nest, something fierce. But although it's 2019, oh yeah, fucking hell, this game came out like years ago. New York City is ruled by someone who got embraced before the world World War fucking II, and the cam as a whole got really spooked and swore off the internet. Of course, they're not dumb to understand that you can't really coexist with modern kind without the internet. It's a gray zone right now, like piracy, technically frowned upon, but let the one without sin cast the first stone. The SI is a threat, no joke, but in many senses, the darkest place is right under the candle. Take another look at the screen. What? The chat is ridiculing you again because I banned the guy who was like smashing his head in the keyboard. My bad. But yeah, fun fact about being a vampire. We can sweat and pee if we exert ourselves really hard. Some of us can even orgasm. We can even cry, but only tears of blood. Fun size spaz. I'm getting the feeling, considering you just put blah, that I may have made a slight error in judgment there. And it's Kitty time. Kitty wants people to donate to the Trevor Project. Let me just check on that ever so slightly. Nope, that was the wrong link that I clicked on there. Whoopsie. That's the link I want. Just funny on the reveal. Okay. Yeah, probably. You know what? That's probably like some Malkavian elder or something that's in there. Kitty, kitty. I know. Daddy wasn't paying attention to you. You can hang out. You can hang out with chat. Let's just move over here so people can see you. But yeah, fun fact about we can even cry, but only tears of blood. Blood. It's something I always dreamed of doing when I was 14, so romantic and drives them crazy. As proof of her words, a scarlet tear running down her face, chat goes wild. This seems to be exactly the kind of thing they've been waiting for. And banned. Just to be clear, you realize what we're doing here is a blatant breach of the Masquerade, right? Well, yeah. I honestly expected you to leave or inform somebody by now, but you haven't, have you? Nope. We try to focus on the chat. In any case, the last goal has just been funded. It's time for the great finale. This is what you've all been waiting for, right? Her voice has changed. She gets closer to the camera, letting her face fill the frame of the live feed. Her mesmerizing eyes are focused purely on the viewers. You wanted blood? Come out into the streets, claw out your neighbors' throats, slash their veins, and drink up. Jesus. Hope's presence becomes absolutely horrifying, and it influences the chat in some incomprehensible way. Everyone starts typing like they are possessed. Liberate yourselves from the shackles of ordinary morality. Make them scream. Feel the warmth of their entrails. I'm not even gonna try to say that. What the hell is she doing to these people? What have you gotten yourself into? Transcend your bodies. Release the message of hope into the world. She jerks violently for a second and falls down on the bed like a marionette that had just had its strings severed. She exhales loudly a few times and laughs. When she does, the room goes dark again. Alright, that's enough. Instead of continuing, she does something with her phone. Stream ends and the chat instantly becomes dead quiet. Let me take over. The atmosphere of the room has completely changed. She's already put herself together and stood up. Now she's walking towards you. What the fuck just happened? Catch glimpses of her acting this way, but only now have you started to figure it out. What the hell just happened? Oh, she's been typing all that shit into the phone herself. What? The chat was fake. Stopping on the phone, even during the show, somehow she's capable of impersonating the entire chat room. I live because I find it fun to be an information conduit to process trends and support ones I deem worthy. There was no Masquerade violation. She was showing off her skills all along. She put you in a world of pure fiction, the same way she was testing you when she attacked you from the back. Damn, she's good at this. Of course, you can just ignore what I was saying and decide I'm just another deranged Malkavian, but hey, annihilation is the self-only way to survive in the 21st century. There's never an era that demanded images of beautiful people transcending beyond humanity, inspiring others to do the same. It's this one. Although for now, because of Masquerade, my audience is quite limited. Speaking of, you want to be the star of my next movie? Hell no. You're no fun. But yeah, your test is over. Now the question is, do I want to work with you? She put away for the first time since you've met her, gives you a good, hard look. I guess I can give it a shot. Yeah, you're not that dumb. You're not that boring, and you're kind of cute. How did she type that out? Don't worry, no more modding jobs. Mods get attached, and that's always bad news. She grabs your arm and starts leading you out of the room. Put you through enough shit. Next time I'll let you in on a little job I'm doing. We'll hit the streets and see why Sophie told you to contact me. She leads you through a labyrinth of great corridors. It's a different route than the one you made your way through in. Made your way in through. The city's so much more than what it leads to consider real. So stick with me and I'll guide you to places Camarilla elders couldn't reach in 100 years. She leads you out of the building and into the back alleys. Even if someone else rules the streets, we will rule the information highways. This is the power of hope. She lets out a theatrical laugh and disappears. You don't even notice when she leaves you alone. You assume, hey, wait, I got an achievement. Assume everything went well as a kid, a new ally, the power of hope. As you walk out into the night, everything around you seems a little less tangible than it did a few hours ago. Agent 187X, ever play Night Road or other mobile text VTM content? I have not played Night Road yet. I would like to. And hold on, there is something. Yeah, I'll allow that. New meaning to playing with yourself. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, well, it's better than, I guess, regular Malkavian version of talking to yourself. But that is probably where I'm going to call off this particular session. But yeah, to answer the Agent 187, yeah, I definitely want to play that game. I do believe I have that on Steam. I got the Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines, Blood Hunt, Night Road. Yeah, I have it on Steam because I bought the Humble Bundle a while back. Android app choice for games. Yeah, I got it on Steam with the Humble Bundle a while back. When I got actually this game on the Humble Bundle a while back. So yeah, it seems like fun. I don't know. I just prefer kind of a more visual element to the games. Because I like the way this is set up visually. Because the ones that are text based only, I don't know. It's just like, it seems like this is definitely more of a choose your own adventure type thing. But that one seems like a bit too much like a choose your own adventure type thing. If that makes any sense. But yeah, thank you all for popping into the chats and such. And hanging out with me while I play this game. Hope is a trip. But yeah. And you too, Fun Size Spaz. Good to see you once again. I am going to raid us over to someone else who is awesome, who plays Vampire the Masquerade and runs a Vampire the Masquerade game, which is Daryl Dorsey. Daryl sucks at gaming. He's playing a little Red Dead Redemption right now, but I'm gonna raid you all over there and give him all the love. Daryl sucks at gaming. I think that's right. There we go. Yeah, so pop over there, give him all love, tell him that I sent you, and yeah, he's a great guy. So I will see you all at some other point in time. Have a good night, everybody.